Now, keeping fit and healthy is important to many of us, but there's a new warning that crash exercise fitness trends are leading to a record number of under-30s needing hip replacements. It's claimed that a rise in popularity of high-impact training designed to achieve results as quickly as possible has led to an increase in illnesses among young people that are more traditionally associated with the over 50s. So can exercise actually do more harm than good? Joining me now to talk about this are the health and fitness expert Neil Dimmock and physiotherapist and triathlete Daniel Boyd. Very good morning to you both. Neil Dimmock, let's start with you here. Are people just taking exercise too far? People under 30 needing hip replacement seems crazy.
Well, I think it depends. It depends how you're exercising. We need to take exercise. Obviously, all of us need to take exercise. I think that we are, as general, an unfit nation. We need to take regular exercise, but I really think it depends what kind of exercise that you're doing and how you're being taught, more importantly.
Daniel Boyd, you're a physiotherapist as well as being a triathlete. Do you think people go into this kind of high-intensity training kind of blindly, not realising the impact it can have on their body? What kind of injuries are you seeing as a result of this?
Well, I do see an increase in sort of impact injuries and people taking up sport for the first time and then developing sort of overuse injuries quite quickly because they're not conditioned to the type of sport that they're then trying to get into, particularly sort of your high intensity and very quick high impact exercises that you're starting to see more and more of nowadays.
As a triathlete, have you seen, I've seen it around where I live, a huge boost in the number of people offering kind of high intensity sessions, boot camps, you know, they're kind of all over the place, aren't they? And people do it when they're perhaps not used to that level of exercise because they want to lose weight and they want to get fit quickly. We haven't kind of got the patience to kind of spend hours and hours at the gym anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that firstly that people are doing exercise, and as Neil says, the nation is getting fitter and sort of intuitively more active. But yeah, I think progression is key, and the technique and the right guidance from the professionals that are out there, and becoming more and more readily available. Information is rife and quite accessible nowadays for people to sort of educate themselves on how they should be doing things. And
Daniel, do you think people take the time to actually educate themselves and do the research? Because some people, I guess, train without a personal trainer. They just kind of go and cane it at the gym, maybe.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. We don't take enough time to educate ourselves. I think we're led by the latest fads and what we read in the newspapers, what we read in magazines. We as a nation need a more rounded approach to fitness. There is a lot more to exercise than just resistance and cardio-based activities. We need to take care of our bodies. We need to take a more rounded approach. Flexibility, for example, massage. So really, it's that rounded approach. It's that almost that prehab approach to prevent injury.
Daniel, is there a danger that people are more kamikaze because they think, oh, well, actually, if hip replacements are being offered to people so young and, they can last so many decades now, that, it can be fixed. If I get an injury, it can be fixed. Are people being reckless with their bodies?
I think one phrase is quite key: prevention is better than cure. If you can prevent something from happening, you are infinitely better than trying to fix it once it's already become a problem. And that's, as Neil said, it's eminently doable, but people just need to be aware. Seek a preventative measure, or seek sort of an appropriate approach to exercise that is better for the person long term, rather than looking for a quick fix or a quick solution to sort of losing weight or to reaching that goal that they're looking for. Progression and sort of, let's say, just a quite rounded, sensible approach to exercise is key.
Neil, there seems to be a plethora of kind of challenges out there for ordinary folk where they can go and, run through mud for a couple of miles and, kind of army training type things. And ordinary people are taking them up. People aren't necessarily that fit and healthy. Do you think they understand the training that's required, or do they perhaps turn up on the day underprepared?
I think largely they turn up unprepared, and like we were suggesting earlier on, like Daniel was quite rightly suggesting, we don't know enough about our bodies. We don't know what position we're actually in physically. So to undertake something like one of the popular challenges that are out there at the moment, it's we don't understand what impact that load has on our body. And how much that we need to actually prepare for that load, for that resistance.
Yeah, Daniel, my producer's just whispering to me in my ear. She does 3 classes, gym classes in a row, one after another.
Yeah.
My knee was hurting this week, so I don't know what I did last week when I was doing the minimum bit of exercise that I do, and I just carried on training through it. Actually, we don't necessarily know what to do. Should you be doing class after class in a row, or is it just too much impact on your body?
Well, as I mentioned, sort of if that's something you're used to and it's something you've built up to over time, you've done necessary preparation work, the strength training, as Neil says, the flexibility training, and the necessary sort of build up into that amount of exercise, then that's fine. I personally run relatively long triathlons. I built up over a year to get to those sort of distances, and that would be the advice that I'd give anyone trying to get into, whether it's 3 classes of an evening. You start with 1, do that for 6, 7, 8 weeks, build up to 1 plus a run, and then maybe 2 classes. Just be sensible in what you're trying to do.
What are the trigger points? So if you do have aches and pains, at what point do you actually have to say, I've got to stop now and actually get this seen to? Or is it just, like I said, my knee's hurting a little bit. Do I actually go and see someone, or just carry on training through the pain barrier?
Again, sort of particularly nowadays on Facebook and social media, you see people sort of pushing themselves through various crazy challenges. So there's a big ethos where you should push yourself through a pain barrier, but frankly, people know what is roughly normal for their body and what is normal post-exercise. And if not, you seek that education and advice. And if something feels abnormal, generally, and particularly people that come and see me in clinic, people say this just doesn't feel right, and they know when to get it investigated. And I think as soon as that sensation comes on, as soon as you have that feeling, then that's when you should seek help.
All right, Daniel Boyd, Neil Dimmock, great to talk to you both this morning. I'd like to say you've inspired me to do more exercise, but I'm not sure you really have. Carry on being lazy, as usual. Thank you.
Thank you.